dated a boy. I was at his house, and he had a bootleg VHS tape music video of Misfits' Dig Up Her Bones. And I had never seen anything like that in my life. It was not mainstream, so I had never come across it. And I fell in love with the music, not with him. It's the first time that I actually stepped into myself and transformed. And 138 has been my personal transformation number ever since. If you look up the 138 Misfits meaning, you'll find THX1138 by George Lucas. This is actually the first time I've ever looked up the meaning for that. I've just always gone by We Are 138. They stop taking their meds, they wake up to the bleak reality of their own existence and fall in love with each other in the process. Outlaws on the run from an army of robotic police. Yep. 19 to 21, I dated a death metal guy. I lived with him and his mother. His mother was Wiccan, and he was death metal, and I was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Christian girl. She introduced me to astrology and tarot and opened my eyes to a world that I had been locked away from. There were always a lot of spirits around his house, and I had a strong desire to communicate with them. I was never afraid of them. I'd always ask them to join me in pictures and look at the camera and smile. They would surround me, and once I got to the point of wanting to possibly try to talk to them, that's when I freaked out because of my fear from Christian upbringing. Also, his mom wasn't too happy about it because they didn't communicate with her, just with me. Out of that entire family, I'm the only one they wanted to communicate with, and it drove his mom absolutely crazy. I never saw spirits when I was younger. I still was pretty blind. When it came to the third eye stuff, I feel, I don't see as well. But I remember I had this like karaoke machine in my room, and it had this dial, and it had a little red dot on it. I'd go to sleep with the music on, and this entity, of course at that time I would just call it a ghost, would turn the music down, and then I'd get out of bed and I'd turn it back up, and then it would turn it back down, and I'd turn it back up, and then I'd be like, hey, I'm alive right now, this is my room, I'm going to listen to music if I want to, and then they would leave it alone. This kind of stuff happened to me all the time, but I was the only one in my family that experienced anything like that. Yeah, for me, it was just basic, simple stuff. It wasn't anything overwhelmingly crazy. It was always just there. You know what I mean? It was just there. I loved church, loved it. I ate it, breathed it, slept it. I loved church. If any of my friends wanted to hang out with me, any of my punk rock friends or vampire gothic friends, if they wanted to hang out with me, they'd have to come to church with me. It's just is what it is. But my youth minister, I drove him insane. I would ask so many questions. I would question everything that he didn't have answers for. Also, when he would have a problem with homosexuality, I would question him. I would question if I was born a pathological liar, would you still love me? Lying's a sin. I drove him nuts. I always led the prayer. I always said hi to the people that came, the new people. I remember anytime we'd go on a youth retreat thing and it was like, take your masks off. So I'd be like, well, I meet people online and I have phone sex with them. Who wants to hold me accountable? Or I tried acid and I loved it. I was too honest for them. They didn't like it. Drank in high school. I didn't smoke. I didn't do anything like that. I was always a safe place for my friends to come. So they would sneak into my house or call my phone when they were high on whatever. I was always a safe space, but I never did anything. Right before graduating high school, I tried acid for the first time, and I realized that God was a DJ. And I just threw God away. I was like, wait a second, it's all bullshit. Everything's bullshit. I got in a fight with my youth minister. He wanted to tell my mom I was doing drugs and I was about to move across the country. I'm like, I'm 18. You're not going to tell my mom shit. She will worry about me. I'm moving from Florida to Arizona. I will tell her on my own due time. I just walked away from the church. I just walked away from all of it. The hypocrisy, it just all fell away. It was my identity for a really long time. awakening had pretty much been in a steady path, healing and unlocking things, rediscovering things. For a year or so, the puzzle pieces flew in for a while, and then it just kind of like simmered down until quarantine hit. Once quarantine hit, I was already on TikTok for a little bit, and then my past life stuff, people were really interested in it. People were wanting to heal, and I stepped way the fuck more into that, and then started to teach the things that I had experienced firsthand. But I don't study a lot. Remember, like, I grew up in the church, and the only stuff I know about like ancient Egypt or Greece times or Norse times is literally because I've experienced it through past life stuff. So it's not from reading, and that's, some people they don't like that. But I only speak on the stuff that I've experienced and I know. That's all I got, And my middle child was 3. I was going through a dark night of the soul, and she was experiencing not only trapped spirits, but demons and angels and fairies, all of it. She was astral projecting. She was all over the place. And I knew nothing about this stuff. I wasn't scared of it, though. I just figured it out with her. Around this time, of course, I'd already knew a lot about astrology and was doing natal charts and stuff, but I started getting into tarot cards. It took me until I was like in my early 30s to even pick up tarot cards. Because again, I grew up in the church, so those were evil. They're not evil, by the way, just in case you were wondering. Another thing that happened during that time was the start of my twin flame journey. If you're a twin flame, you know that story is 3 hours long. Part of the twin flame community, I also got Reiki certified all the way to my master's, and that's when I realized what I do is not Reiki. The energy just naturally flows through me. I still recommend, if anybody's drawn to getting Reiki, go ahead and do it. Do whatever you're drawn to. There's no right or wrong. It's all steps on the path. The majority of 2015 and 2016, I was an admin of a very large Facebook twin flame group where I pretty much took the lead of everything and made welcome videos and tarot videos and encouraged others to make videos. And the people in that group didn't like me very much that had made me an admin, simply because everybody was drawn to me and not them. Because I didn't like hierarchy, and I would encourage everybody to be individuals and do things for themselves. In 2017, I had an extreme experience with a karmic partner that lived in Australia. It's the first time I ever experienced, my Kundalini awakening happened during 2016, 2017. My fear cord ripped out in 2016, 2017. A lot of shit happened to me spiritually in 2017 is a big, big, big spiritual time for me. That's when everything went whoosh, like hardcore. But this guy in Australia, we, like our energies merged, but it was because, he is a large soul fragment of Set / Lucifer, and I am a large soul fragment of Michael / Nephthys. And there's a whole heart and wings situation that happened between those characters if you're not aware of it. So our paths cross to heal Set and Nephthys. 2017 is also where I met my friend Laura. She was a big part of my Kundalini awakening and everything that happened to me. She's one of my mentors, if not the mentor that I have, and also one of my absolute best friends. She's a big part of my spiritual awakening. 2017 is also when my past life gifts opened up. Again, that was when healing the soul fragments of Nephthys and the soul fragments of Set. That's the very first past life I ever saw. And that's when I started doing soul fragment retrievals and past life stuff. As soon as I saw my own past life, I was like, this is what I'm doing. I have to help everybody with their past lives. I have to help them heal. Before that, I had thought maybe I had one past life. I didn't know. yeah, I've had lots. A lot of us have. We've been around for a while. In 2017, all the way to beginning of quarantine of March 2020. Mostly twin flame stuff, energy healing, figuring out that I'm a spiritual surgeon, figuring out I'm a protector of lost souls, stepping into all these little different like puzzle pieces. Because once you start stepping into yourself, the puzzle pieces just fly in, and you just start stepping into yourself and stepping into yourself and stepping into yourself, and it all just kind of happens. Of course, releasing the trapped soul fragment that is Amun Ra. They were trapped in ancient Egypt for many, 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 many years. And then we released it, and a soul fragment of that is my daughter, Casey Ray. A lot of you have soul fragments of Amun Ra. They're all around 2 years old right now. And then releasing the souls that Ra locked up as well. So that was a big part. You guys about some of the really hard stuff I went through. Pretty much just talking to you about like the spiritual stuff that I've experienced in my life. When I was 24, I met a soulmate, and it was the first time that I connected to God again ever, because I saw God in his eyes. We were astrologically compatible in every state, every way you looked. Chinese zodiac, American astrology, legit, anything that you could like search, we were compatible. There's a lot I could talk about that marriage, but it really pretty much brought me to when my middle child, Jade, was born. She was so spiritually awake, it could scare anybody. It didn't scare me. Never ever thought that I'd be doing exactly what I'm doing now, which is working throughout time and space, time traveling through astral projection and past life. I guess you can't call it astral projection. It's just past life work. Working around the planet, being a part, hello, foot, being a part of all the spiritual awakening stuff that's happening in 2020. Again, I know the stuff that's happening because I'm experiencing it firsthand. I'm being a part of the change. I'm being a part of the stuff behind the scenes. And when I say that all of you are there doing it too, you are. Your human might not be aware of it, but I'm working with all of you all over the place, cleaning up human trauma waste scattered throughout space and time, walking the truth, bringing everything to the light. That's kind of where I am now. There's definitely some truths that I've found that I didn't know were there. I know my role now. I know that I am here to bring things to the light. I know I'm here to help people remember their own truth. Not what I say to be true or what anybody else says to be true, but your own truth, the truth that your soul remembers. It's extremely important. That's why I'm always saying, remember, remember, remember. Division is the biggest lie. It is. There's no evil. There's no holy. There's the division of politics, the division of races, the division of cultures. If you follow the family tree back far enough, we are all one. And if I break that tree down enough, we can merge it to there's no more hierarchy, and we're levelly all one. And that's what I'm doing these days. It's about stepping into yourself and remembering on a soul level. Meditate, except I put a meditation on at night before I go to sleep if I want to heal something. I don't use crystals. I don't use herbs. You very rarely see me with tarot cards, but if you do, I can read the shit out of them. Most of my spiritual gifts have to do with my ability to communicate and to train and to help people learn. Even my ADD is a spiritual gift because it helps me puzzle solving. Looking to the left of you and looking to the right of you to find out what your spiritual gifts are and to become something is not going to work. You need to just go with the flow, step into yourself layer by layer, and understand that the now that you are, the you that you are now, is perfect for the spiritual awakening that you're on, and that the next thing will come to you as soon as you step into who you are at this very moment. So yeah, thanks for listening to my journey, if you stuck around.